The Mr. Cogito's guest house has perfectly fitted into the location of Krakow's Dębniki. It has its own history. We have integrated with the local community. People with mental illnesses have been working here over the last 15 years. For many people, it is the only place, the only chance to stay at work. In addition, it is also a place where they can acquire new competencies, get professional training, and the courage to go to work in the open market. Over the last 15 years, the Mr. Cogito's guest house and restaurant has been a workplace for 27 persons with lived experience, as well as an education center and a symbol of overcoming the illness, a way to recovery. What is Cogito for Kraków? Speaking the medical language, it is something that should infect. This means such centers should be established in various cities. As mental illnesses are widespread, centers of this kind should be promoted and established as widely as possible.
Powinny być jak najszerzej propagowane i tworzone.
It is an oasis in which mentally ill people can feel that their diagnosis is not their humanity.
Diagnoza to nie ich człowieczeństwo, że pomimo...
Despite various difficulties, they are just as fully fledged members of the community as healthy people are.
No i Cogito jest taką...
Cogito is such a space in which the ill and those who help them learn to respect each other and help one another, so this is probably an oasis for everyone.
Chyba dla wszystkich.
What is the meaning of work for people with mental illness? If a person works, especially after a serious mental crisis, work brings them back to life. On the other hand, not every job heals, and not every job is good for us. We also have to know what we prefer, what kind of work we could do, what kind of work would be good for us. What is Cogito for Kraków? Lectures are held here with medical students who watched what work in a hotel looks like and what such hotel looks like. It is a valuable place to educate future psychiatrists. What is the meaning of work for persons who have experienced psychosis? Many people feel alienated from society, feel unnecessary and needless.
Czuje się zbędnymi, niepotrzebnymi.
They feel they are a burden for their families.
Moment, kiedy mogą zacząć
The moment when they can start working improves their well-being and restores their sense of dignity and gives meaning to everyday life.
Sensowności każdego dnia.
What is Cogito for Kraków?
Pan Cogito.
Being an extremely important initiative, Mr. Cogito is a drop in the ocean of needs.
Tutaj wiele osób zdrowieje.
In Cogito, many people recover, find their place on earth.
Swoje miejsce na ziemi. Też niektórzy.
Some of my patients work here too, and I know how important it is for their lives.
Ważne dla ich życia.
What is the meaning of work for people with mental illness? It allows to confront or rehab yourself in this area,
W tym obszarze, który dla osób
which for people in mental crisis may be the most difficult, the one related to interpersonal relations.
relacjami między
After all, work is associated with the most frequent interactions in our lives, outside the circle of family and friends. It helps to organize oneself, organize one's own complex activity, which also has a rehabilitating dimension, and finally restores dignity, because it gives a sense and meaning to life. That is why returning to work is not a consequence of good treatment, but an element of good treatment. What is Cogito for Kraków? It is a bit of a refuge, a bit of good practice, a bit of a place of education for young candidates for doctors,
Kandydatów na lekarzy, to miejsce edukacji.
and a place of education for social activists. It proves that Krakowians are wholehearted and can create something welcoming, interesting and innovative, something extremely useful for a large group of people.
To też
On one hand, it is a reason to be proud of,
z jednej strony, a z drugiej strony
and on the other, it is a challenge, because Krakow cannot allow Mr. Cogito to lower its sights or to disappear from the stage.
zniknąć ze sceny.
What is the meaning of work for people with mental illness?
No oczywiście
We said that it was like a cure, but it also constructs our identity.
konstruuje naszą też tożsamość, tak, bo żyjemy po to.
We live for what is important to us, a relationship that is love and also our activity. These dimensions are manifested at work.
Aktywność nasza, no i to się w pracy
It
przejawia.
is not different. What is important to us and what is important to people who are ill.
Chorują.
Posiadanie pracy
Having a job is often a determinant of social status. It helps to maintain good health, to think about oneself better, to fulfill oneself in the performance of professional
zadań
activities.
zawodowych. Dla wielu osób
For many mentally ill people, having a job or staying at work is the last stage of rehabilitation. It's a kind of a test showing that they can fully return to all social and professional
wszystkich
roles.
ról społecznych i zawodowych.
What is Cogito for Krakow?
Ja myślę i tak
We would like it to be a symbol of the fact that people can recover from mental illness, that they can work after mental crisis, and that they can work in the open market.
mogą pracować w otwartym rynku, ponieważ tu przyjeżdżają
People come here without knowing whether someone has been ill or not, and without knowing who is working here.
i no poprzez to
Through education, slightly invisible, the neighbors visit our restaurant for dumplings and so on. They learn that mentally ill people work here and that they are not afraid. Fear of mental illness is weakened.
w ten jakby bardziej naturalny sposób jest osłabiany.
There are more such places except for Cogito in Poland, but in total there are not many of them.
Bardzo niewiele.
Miejsca takie
Places like at Mr. Cogito's
są
are a great tool to bring the mentally ill back to society.
do tego, żeby tych ludzi przywrócić
It is a place where, after a period of acute crisis, they can return.
do kryzysu.
This is a great place in every
To
aspect.
jest wspaniałe miejsce, bo
It is an initiative that shows what people can give to other people who need it.
która pokazuje,
It shows how much a big heart and a heart worn on one's sleeve can give.
ile może
It
dać
is hard to imagine a more friendly, more humane way of returning to society
bardziej przyjazny,
than by working in a friendly, peaceful and supportive
właśnie
environment.
taki. Przez pracę w przyjaznym, spokojnym, przychylnie do człowieka nastawionym środowisku. To jest też
It is also a place where the initiative of various circles has been combined.
środowisk, bo to jest
It is a grassroots social initiative, but also one that has received support from the city, voivodeship, state and friends from abroad.
Tak jak
Just as at Mr. Cogito's is an excellent tool for overcoming the crisis,
z kryzysu, tak sądzę, że
I also think that it is a place where social solidarity focuses. Without solidarity, there can be no healthy society.
Cogito,
Cogito is a big family, a community that builds a positive idea.
która buduje dobrą ideę.
This idea is first of all a good workplace, a great professional hotel,
Konkurencji,
competitive to other hotels in Krakow,
taki punkt
a
na mapie
point on the map that everyone likes to return to. It is such a landmark just as the iconic and St. Mary's Church in this city.
w tym mieście. A równocześnie
At the same time, it gives these people a sense of self-confidence and dignity.
godności, daje im poczucie
It gives them a sense of location here in Dębniki, in the local community, and gives them the opportunity to look at the mentally ill person in a different way.
innego spojrzenia na osobę chorującą psychicznie. Wszyscy tutaj
All the employees here are, to some extent, performing such a public mission.
oni świadczą
They testify to the new phase of psychiatry, to the different needs of mentally ill patients,
o innych potrzebach pacjentów
and to
chorujących.
the different possibilities in the process of overcoming the crisis of suffering and the process of recovery.
Cierpienia i zdrowienia. A dzisiaj przyszło
Today our friends came to us. They said a lot of warm words, a lot of reflection.
dużo mądrych refleksji. My mamy nadzieję,
We hope that this will become part of everyday life part of living our lives together.
życie. I wszyscy się
Everyone will find out that it is possible to live together.
razem ze sobą.